5 things WWE subtly told us on Raw ahead of Elimination Chamber. WWE confirms Bronson Reed's injury on Raw. Oba Femi calls out Brock Lesnar for big money match. AJ Styles was kept in the dark about WWE Hall of Fame announcement. WWE plans for Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 42 revealed. Vince McMahon quietly planning WWE Buyback with Saudi support. Let's get started. 5 things WWE subtly told us on Raw ahead of Elimination Chamber. The final Raw before Elimination Chamber closed on a highly emotional note, and fans are still talking about it. The night took a huge turn when The Undertaker made a surprise return to personally announce AJ Styles' WWE Hall of Fame induction. The phenomenal one reflected on his legendary journey, gave heartfelt thanks to his wife, and spoke about focusing on being a great father now that he's accomplished everything inside the squared circle. With the entire WWE roster surrounding him in celebration, the dead man, rocking the American Badass persona, made it official. But that wasn't the only major takeaway from Raw. Brock Lesnar also shook things up, and several subtle clues may have revealed WWE's bigger plans heading into WrestleMania season. Here are 5 things WWE quietly told us on the Go Home episode before Elimination Chamber. Number 5. AJ Styles' in-ring career appears officially over. When AJ Styles didn't leave his gloves in the ring at the Royal Rumble, many fans held out hope for one last WrestleMania run. However, Raw's closing moments strongly suggested that chapter is now closed. The Undertaker announcing Styles' Hall of Fame induction all but confirmed that the phenomenal one is truly done competing. Barring a shocking swerve, AJ Styles looks officially retired from in-ring action. Number 4. Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania direction is still wide open. Brock Lesnar made his thunderous return to Monday Night Raw alongside Paul Heyman and wasted no time making noise. The Beast Incarnate issued an open challenge for WrestleMania. But here's the interesting part. Nobody answered. That silence may have been very telling. WWE appears to be keeping Lesnar's opponent under wraps for now, likely using the open challenge to build buzz and keep fans guessing on the road to WrestleMania. Number 3. Finn Balor vs. Dominic Mysterio tension is heating up. Keep a close eye on Judgment Day. During Raw, Finn Balor made it clear he wants to chase the world title at Elimination Chamber without any help from the group. Later, when Dominic Mysterio looked for backup for his own match, Balor shut him down and told him to handle business himself. Dirty Dom clearly didn't like that. These small cracks could be the early groundwork for a potential Balor vs. Dominic showdown at WrestleMania 42. Number 2. Maxxine Dupri may be off TV for now. Maxxine Dupri's rough night against Natalya ended in brutal fashion. After being dominated at ringside and losing via referee stoppage, the post-match beatdown strongly hinted that WWE may be writing Maxxine off television for a short break. If so, don't be surprised if she disappears from Raw for a few weeks. Number 1. Bronson Reed's injury likely changed major plans. The Elimination Chamber qualifier between Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and El Grande Americano didn't just decide a winner, it may have forced WWE into an audible. During the match, Reed appeared to suffer a legitimate injury while breaking up a pin attempt. The referee even threw up the dreaded X sign. According to reports, Reed was originally planned to qualify for the men's chamber match. Instead, Jey Uso picked up the win, suggesting WWE had to pivot on the fly. If true, this could have ripple effects heading into WrestleMania season. WWE confirms Bronson Reed's injury on Raw. This week's episode of Raw went down at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, and as always in WWE, anything can change in an instant. Bronson Reed's night took a rough turn during the Elimination Chamber qualifying triple threat match. While Jey Uso walked away with the victory, the bigger story was what happened to Reed. Behind the scenes, WWE was reportedly forced to adjust their plans on the fly, and unfortunately, the news only got worse from there. During the closing moments of Raw, Michael Cole delivered the official update. Bronson Reed has suffered a torn bicep and is now out indefinitely. It's a brutal setback for the Vision, especially with WrestleMania season heating up. The timing couldn't be worse. With Braun Breaker already sidelined due to a hernia and Seth Rollins previously taken out with his own injury, fans online are starting to question whether the Vision faction is simply cursed right now. No matter how you look at it, this injury creates a serious ripple effect on the road to WrestleMania. WWE already had to reshuffle plans for the Elimination Chamber, and Reed's absence could force even more changes in the weeks ahead. We'll keep you posted as more details come out. What's your reaction to Bronson Reed being out indefinitely? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Oba Femi calls out Brock Lesnar for big money match. WWE still hasn't made Oba Femi vs. Brock Lesnar official for WrestleMania 42, but if you ask Femi, he's more than ready to run it. After reports surfaced that the teased showdown isn't fully locked in, the ruler stepped up and addressed the situation himself. Speaking with Lucha Libre Online on February 23, 2026, Femi didn't mince words when Lesnar's name came up. Whenever Brock is ready for the challenge, he knows exactly where to find me. I'm on the roster, he's still on the roster. In other words, Femi made one thing perfectly clear. The move is Lesnar's to make. He's not backing down, he's waiting. He knows where to find me, let's make it happen. Big money, take my money. This comes after Dave Meltzer reported that Lesnar vs. Femi is not currently a done deal for WrestleMania 42, despite their heated face-off in the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble. Femi lasted an impressive 39 minutes from the #1 spot before Lesnar finally tossed him with a German suplex, a moment that immediately fueled Las Vegas Showdown rumors. Now, with WrestleMania 42 set for April 18th and 19th at Allegiant Stadium and Lesnar's status still uncertain, Femi's public challenge just poured gasoline on the fire. If WWE was hesitant before, the pressure just went way up. So the question is simple. Should WWE pull the trigger on Oba Femi vs. Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42? AJ Styles was kept in the dark about WWE Hall of Fame announcement. AJ Styles thought the night was about closure, but WWE had one more surprise waiting. When The Undertaker appeared during the closing moments of the February 23rd episode of Raw in Atlanta to announce Styles as a 2026 Hall of Fame inductee, fans weren't the only ones caught off guard. According to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer, the Phenomenal One had no idea it was coming. WWE reportedly kept him completely in the dark. That whole thing at the end with The Undertaker and the Hall of Fame announcement was a legitimate surprise to AJ, who they didn't clue in. That revelation makes the Atlanta episode hit even harder in hindsight. The entire show was framed as a tribute to Styles following his retirement at the hands of Gunther at the 2026 Royal Rumble. During an emotional in-ring address, Styles reflected on his journey through TNA and Japan, thanked the Good Brothers, and opened up about the personal sacrifices he made, missing birthdays, anniversaries, and major family moments along the way. Then came the symbolic goodbye. Styles placed his vest and gloves in the center of the ring, explaining he saved the moment because he wanted to do it at home in Atlanta. Just as the crowd soaked it in, the lights dropped. The familiar gong hit. The Undertaker rode out on his motorcycle to Kid Rock, teased some unfinished business, and then delivered the bombshell. AJ Styles is headed to the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2026. Knowing now that Styles wasn't tipped off makes his reaction feel even more authentic. Nothing about that moment was rehearsed for him. It was genuine. And with Stephanie McMahon already confirmed for the 2026 class, Styles' induction is quickly becoming one of the ceremony's biggest must-see moments. WWE plans for Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 42 revealed. Drew McIntyre may very well head into WrestleMania 42 as the undisputed WWE champion. But if the latest backstage update is accurate, fans shouldn't expect a traditional one-on-one title defense. Recent speculation suggested McIntyre could carry the championship all the way to WrestleMania for a potential high-profile rematch with Cody Rhodes. However, new information indicates WWE may be pivoting in a much more unpredictable direction. Speaking during a Q&A session on February 23, 2026, WrestleVotes provided insight into the company's current internal plans for the undisputed WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 42, and it doesn't sound like a singles bout is in the cards. At this point, it's shaping up to be anything but a singles match. The expectation is a 5-pack or even a 6-pack challenge. That alone would dramatically change the landscape of the WrestleMania title picture, but the potential list of competitors makes the situation even more interesting. According to WrestleVotes, several major names are being discussed for inclusion in the match. Among those mentioned were Aleister Black, Jacob Fatu, and Sami Zayn, all of whom could find themselves inserted into the championship bout on WWE's biggest stage. It's wild to think that Aleister Black, Jacob Fatu, and Sami Zayn could all be part of the WWE title match at WrestleMania, whether it's a 4-man, 5-man, or even 6-man, but it certainly won't be one-on-one. If WWE ultimately moves forward with a 5-pack or 6-pack challenge, WrestleMania 42 could feature one of the most loaded undisputed WWE Championship matches in recent memory. For McIntyre, that scenario would significantly decrease his chances of walking out still holding the gold, as multi-man matches introduce chaos, unpredictability, and far more ways to lose the title without even being pinned. Still, it's important to remember that WrestleMania season is famous for last-minute creative changes. Plans inside WWE can shift quickly depending on storyline developments, injuries, or fan reaction. But as things currently stand behind the scenes, the expectation is becoming increasingly clear. The undisputed WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 42 is not being planned as a one-on-one encounter, and it could turn into an absolute war if these names are officially added. Vince McMahon quietly planning WWE Buyback with Saudi support. Rumors about Vince McMahon potentially buying WWE back have been swirling for months, but now Jonathan Coachman is turning the heat all the way up. After previously floating the idea that McMahon could one day reclaim control following his 2024 resignation amid the Janelle Grant lawsuit, Coachman revisited the topic on the February 23, 2026 episode of The Coach and Bro Show. This time, though, he suggested the situation may already be moving behind the scenes and claimed his show has been ahead of the story. Everybody's watching our show because we're the only ones that have been talking about this for an extended period of time. Coachman then made a bold allegation involving reported Saudi interest in what he described as very early discussions. It is all over the place that Vince, in a silent way, has now started talking with the Saudi to start engaging with TKO about buying the WWE back, and he would be somewhat of a silent partner. He admitted he didn't fully buy into the chatter at first. "I saw it on the dirt sheets and I was like, do you really believe it? But then my source reached out to me today, and he confirmed that that is actively going around at the company and around TKO, that those talks are starting right now." According to Coachman, the internal belief, if the talk is accurate, is that McMahon wouldn't return as the public face of power like before. Instead, the idea being discussed is a quieter role as a silent partner, potentially backed by Saudi investment. As of now, none of this has been officially confirmed by WWE, TKO Group Holdings, or Vince McMahon himself. Still, if these conversations truly are happening internally, expect the speculation around McMahon's long-term plans to only grow louder. With billions on the line and WWE firmly under the TKO umbrella, any serious move toward a buyback would easily become one of the most shocking corporate twists the wrestling industry has ever seen.